Hi everyone, it's Lisa with InkandInspirations.com. Thanks for joining me today. In this video, we're going to be making this card with the Lift Me Up bundle from Stampin' Up! Occasions Catalog 2017. And I wanted to use a different color scheme than the other cards that I have made with this set to give it more of a vintage feel, and this is what I came up with. So let me show you how I put it together. First of all, I started with a crumb cake base, cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. And I used this cloud image to stamp in crumb cake around the edges just randomly. And then I took a stamping sponge and my crumb cake ink and I just sponged around the edges to prepare the base. We're going to set that aside for now and get our main layer. This is a piece of very vanilla cardstock cut at 3 by 4, and I've sponged around those edges as well with the crumb cake cardstock. Another thing I wanted to do is kind of give it a little rough edge at the top, so I'm taking my paper snips and just going to rub that edge, and then I'll take my sponge again and accent where I did that little roughing up and make it stand out a little bit more. Okay, so for this background, I wanted some crumb cake clouds. So in this set, in this bundle, you get the Up and Away framelits and Lift Me Up at 10% off if you purchase them together. And I used these two dies to cut out and make a stencil from this piece of just Whisper White cardstock. You could use any color. And so I have this, and then I just randomly placed it over the background there. And I'm going to get my crumb cake ink and my sponge, and I'm just going to rub over that opening and put some clouds on this background. And you can vary the amount of ink you use and vary the placement, and no two cards are going to be the same, which really makes it fun. And I'm just trying to get a good printed background, but have the clouds go along with the whole color scheme of the card. Okay, so let me get down here a little bit. I'm going to stagger those. And this one I'm not going to put as much ink. And then let's see. Let's do this. I think I'm going to come around and put a little one down here. And you could save this stencil and use it over and over if you were going to use the same color ink. Okay, you see how you get the ink around the edges? You would want to just use the crumb cake or something darker for that. Okay, so there's our background. And now I wanted to show you how I did the hot air balloons. And what I did is I took some Whisper White cardstock, I don't know if you can see that I stamped in Versamark ink and then embossed it with white, Stampin' White embossing powder. Then I got my ink pad, this is Island Indigo, and I'm going to use a sponge, and I just did the emboss resist technique and just rub that color, and the embossing just resists the ink, and you get that pretty indigo balloon. Okay, and you can keep applying color and get the color as intense as you'd like. I'm going to stop there because that was just to show you. And I did that with on the large balloon with Island Indigo, and on the smaller balloon with crushed curry. And then I used my Big Shot and the dies that come with that Up and Away Thinlet set and cut these out. So let me get my pieces here, and I'm just going to kind of position them where I think they're going to be. And I have some room down here, and I failed to tell you on this, what I tried to do is leave a space where I could stamp my sentiment, and that I'm using Sending Smiles Across the Miles. I think that is great for sending to loved ones and friends that don't live nearby. And I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig, and what I did is, this is the T, this is the imaging sheet, and I just used some Memento black ink so that it would show up. and I inked it up, and here's my stamp, and I put it down in the corner and stamped that sentiment right there. And then I'm going to bring it over here to my actual page layout, and I'm going to just center that where I want it, where it's going to show the best, like that. I'm going to get my crumb cake ink ready, and let me go ahead and ink that up really well. And then get this T and put it in the corner of that imaging sheet. Then I'm going to lift that up, blowing on my stamp so it can moisten the ink again, and then just press down, and there I have my sentiment. Okay, so now we're going to apply the hot air balloons. Let me find those now that I've just moved everything around on my desktop. Oh, they're right there in front of my nose. Okay, here they are. All right, so now I'm going to just use some Tombow glue or liquid multi-purpose glue. And I'm going to attach that balloon right there. I'm going to come down just a little bit because I'm going to have some twine going across. And put a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of this one to give the card a little bit of dimension. And put that there. Then I'm going to take a half of the lace doilies that come in the Occasions catalog. One side is Whisper White, the other side is Very Vanilla, and I sponged some crumb cake along the edge there just to tie it in with the rest of the card. And let me put a, I think I'm going to use snail because I'm going to set that back down again, and I don't want to get glue on my work surface too much. Okay, let's do that, like that. Okay, then I'm going to rub over the back so it's not too sticky. Then let's get our linen thread, and this is fiber. It's been around a long time, but I love it. It is my go-to. I love using twine, but if I find I don't have the color that I need in stock in my supply drawer, I grab this linen thread, especially if I'm using some neutrals or the card has a vintage feel or a masculine feel. This is perfect. And it's easy to tie and just gives a nice finished look. Okay, so I wrapped it around twice there, and I'm going to start tying. I think I'm going to adjust it just a bit. Let's see. I want to give myself enough room to tie a bow. So I'm going to tie a little knot first. And then I have one of those open heart embellishments from the Sending Love embellishments, which is perfect for these kinds of cards. Perfect for many cards, but I was digging through my embellishments of my different, you know, enamel shapes and my rhinestones and my pearls, and I thought, what am I going to use on this? And oh my goodness, I found this, and I thought I still have some. I need to order some more because these are perfect for that vintage feel cards. And I'm going to tie a bow, and I'm just tying this on. If you used one of the other shapes in there, the solid, you could just use a mini glue dot and glue it on top of your bow. Okay. Okay, so see, there we go. Now, that's going to come here, and I'm going to angle that just a bit, and I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Love Stampin' Dimensionals. Get up here in this corner too. And then we're just going to, I already pulled the paper off of some of those. And we're going to adhere it. Now the inside, I probably will finish off with a piece of Very Vanilla. And let's see, here's a piece right here. And I think what I'm going to do is sponge some clouds. And leave room. And of course this is light enough. You've noticed I didn't re-ink my sponge. I'm just using what was there. Like that. Probably sponge around the edge. You get the idea. And then I'll adhere that to the end of the inside of the card to write my message. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that card and you will give that a try. If you have any questions, please let me know. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.